No, this is Squirrel Up. What emergency?
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road in Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow.
You're in Canton, hold on, because you're in Canton City, so you connected to know, okay?
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
It's the town, it's right there line.
I can keep going, like, you guys are here in 60, okay?
I'm a transfer line, I'm transfer Canton.
Okay. I know. Where's the message? I don't see the link to Paris.
911, what's your emergency?
I need someone to come immediately to 34 Fairview Road, Canton, Mass.
What's going on?
There's a guy unresponsive in the snow.
Is it snow 34?
Yes, 34, the Albert resident, yes. I just pulled up behind it.
Okay, 34 Fairview?
34 Fairview, Canton, Mass, yes.
911, that's not your building, where's your emergency?
I don't know.
Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry. Can you come to 34 Fairview Road in Houston?
34 Fairview?
Yes, there's a man unresponsive in the snow.
Okay, what else?
He's gonna get here, okay?
Okay, what's going on? Is he face down?
We just flipped him over.
Okay. And who's that in the background? Is that someone related?
That's his girlfriend. His name is John McCabe's.
Okay, how old is he?
John is 46 years old.
46, how long has he been outside?
I don't know. I don't know. He got out of the car and it could have been a couple of hours. Is he Carrie? Is he? I don't know if he's breathing. There are two women trying to into his body and they're hysterical.
Okay, can you just try to ask him? I know it's tough, but we have to get the fire department going. They just got to know.
Okay. Is he breathing, you guys? It doesn't seem to be breathing.
Okay, do they know how to do CPR? Do they want to attempt CPR?
Yes, you guys do CPR. No, I guess he's gone.
Okay, they don't feel comfortable doing so?
No, I think he's passed away.
Okay. All right, we have the fire department and the police department on the way. If everyone's declining CPR, then I'll hang up with you, and if anything changes, you can give us a call back. Where are you guys outside?
I'm right up front of the car. I know, I'm on the phone with the Andrews. I know, honey, I know. Carrie, you gotta get off of me. Carrie, you gotta get off of him.
You know if there's any alcohol or drugs involved?
He been out. He has been out.
They've been out drinking?
Yes, like I'm talking hours about maybe, and I don't know how long he's been in the snow.
Okay, is there any bleeding or anything? Maybe his head out?
Yes, possibly. There's going to be bleeding in the face.
Okay, bleeding from the face. All right.
Yes.
And how big's the pool of blood, if there is any?
Something's coming out the nose, and one of the women is doing CPR.
Okay, one of them is doing CPR?
Yes, they're both working on him.
All right, if you want CPR, and just give us a call back if you become a response, all right? But we're on the way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so this next recording is going to be a voicemail that was left on John O'Keefe's phone. So here, let me read you this little article that Turtle Boy wrote to explain what this call is, okay? I'm just going to read this paragraph. Hold on one second. So as Carrie was driving Karen and Jen over to 34 Fairview, Karen was consistently calling John O'Keefe's phone, right? She was in the middle of calling him. They arrived at their 34 Fairview. She saw John. She jumps out of the car and the phone continues calling John's phone. And then it happened to go to his voicemail, right? So it's in Carrie's car. You could hear the windshield wiper blades going. Jen's outside calling 911. They have, at one point, they have like the hatch or the trunk up, and Jen's obviously walking kind of around the car. And so it catches her calling 911. It catches some of that call on this voicemail because she's walking by the car, and every time it gets in the earshot of the car where she's close enough in the car, you could hear what she's saying to 911, right? Or what she's saying to anybody for that matter. I think there's a part where it sounds like, you know, the back trunk's open and you could hear her really good, and maybe she's walking by the window or whatever it may be. Sometimes you could hear and sometimes you not hear anything. You could also hear Karen and Carrie outside. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm gonna play it straight through. I did some subtitles and now I couldn't make out everything. And then after that, I'm gonna match it up with the 911 call and you'll see. Well, I'll explain that when I do that. But first, I'm just gonna play the voicemail.
Yes, I need someone to see 34th Yearby Road, Vietnam. There's a man trapped out in the snow. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think he's dead. Okay, I know. Where's the blanket? I don't see blanket, Carrie. Yes, I need someone. John is 46 years old. I don't know. He got out of the car and it could be an operator. Carrie? I don't know. I did. I know I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know, honey, I know.
So one more thing I want to go over. So when this came out last year, I guess there was this belief that this call picks up when Jen makes those two calls to her sister at like 6:07. I have the exact times here. One is at 6:00. Okay, so she makes the 911 call at 6:03 47 seconds and then she calls her sister at 6:07 42 for 9 seconds. It's answered and then she calls her sister again at 6:08 17 seconds. for 7 seconds. Remember, Jen's sister is the one that lives at the house. She's married to Brian Albert, the house where John is laying dead in the yard, right? So she calls her twice. Now, last year it was under the misunderstanding that it catches a part of this because the 911 call wasn't out yet, just this voicemail, I guess. So I matched it up, and as you could see from this here, you see that the 911 call does not overlap from when she calls, because look, she calls 911 at 6:03:47. It lasts 3 minutes and 32 seconds, which would take it to, if you do the math, it would take it to, now hear me, 6:07 and 19 seconds. You see, she makes this call at 6:07, 42 seconds. So 23 seconds after she hangs up the phone with the 911 call, she's calling her sister, okay? But it doesn't overlap. And if you maybe have some doubts if this voicemail maybe it does go over the time of the 911 call, so maybe it does pick it up. But we could test it out because I can match it up and show you if it does or doesn't. So that question could be answered. And when I say at that time, I mean the time where supposedly we hear what they think is her calling her sister and saying something real quick. So what people think they're hear is they think that they're hearing, hold on, let me pull it up. So there's 3 things that I guess people are hearing that they think they hear in it. One's no one's coming out to help. The other is someone's coming out to help. And the other thing is effing coming out to help. Here is the part where they hear it. Okay, so I'll play it a couple more times. Okay, now, like I said, we see from this document that when she's on the 911 call, she doesn't call her sister till after the 911 call, right? Okay, well, now we have this voicemail, which the voicemail is not necessarily the 911 call. It just picks up the Jen talking to 911. So, maybe it did catch after she hangs up with 911. So I matched it up. But like I said, spoiler alert, it doesn't catch it. The time where they think they hear that, you'll see she is still on the 911 call, and you'll actually see what she is saying. She's actually talking. She's saying something to the 911 operator at the same time as what people think that she calls and says something to her sister. So it's just not possible. But I just wanted to debunk that. But with that being said, I still think it's shady. Like I'm all about facts, and I want to have the correct information. So even if something, doesn't go along with what, oh shoot, I think she's innocent. So this would have been good to have it to be true, but no, I want the facts and I want the truth. And so even though this would help Karen's case, it's not, it's just not it. But it's still shady as crap that she called her sister twice after getting off the 911 call, twice. And she doesn't remember or say anything about it until she gets called out for it. And then she calls Brian, her sister's husband. So the people that are living at the house, yet they don't come out, yet nobody, they don't, nothing. What does she say? Her sister picks it up twice, right? Her sister picks it up twice. It says answered. One is 9 seconds and one is 7 seconds. Says something. And then from her testimony today with Alan Jackson, she says right after that, she hangs up the 911 call. She goes and does chest compressions to help John. And, Alan even asks her, well, why didn't you call Brian or go in and get Brian? He's a first responder. Like he's trained in this. Why didn't you go? You took the time to call your sister. Why not go get him? Why not tell her to bring him out, right? She says, well, there wasn't any time. I just had to hurry up and save my friend, whatever. Which is bullcrap, because on the phone, she didn't even want to do CPR. She's like, oh no, he's dead. So the fact, oh, I'm rushing because I have to hurry up and help, that's bullcrap. Why didn't she, But on the way to give chest compression, she says, she calls her sister twice. And then like 15 minutes after that, she calls Brian again. So what the heck? I don't know. It's weird. But here, let me match it up. Okay, so I wanted to record my screen because I want to show you this real quick. Okay, so here is the part, right here is the recording. This is my voiceover I did right here, but right from here to here is the recording. See, I'll just play the audio is where it starts. Okay. Now I mark the spot, which is right here, is where people hear. Like I said, some people hear no one's coming out to help. Some people hear someone's coming out to help, and some people hear effing coming out to help, which they originally thought last year, and they probably still do until now. I feel like I'm debunking it, which it should show that it's just not it. But like I said, it's still. I still think Karen's innocent, and I still think Jen lied, and there's a lot of shadiness that she, you know what I'm saying? She called her sister, just weird stuff. But this just isn't it. Okay, so I want to show you. Yeah, let's see. I'll show you. So I marked it right here. I'll play it. I'll play it again. Okay, that's the part. Here, I'll turn it up just so you guys can hear it one more time. Make sure you see, because this right here, these two marks are where I gotta line it up to match up. I marked it so I can match it up to the 911 call, but it's this little mark right here next to this is where supposedly the people think that Jen called her sister, and during this the voicemail caught her calling her sister, and she says that to her. As you could see, you know, from the documents, you could see it's not possible for her to be on the 911 call and to be calling her sister at the same time because they don't overlap. You see, after she gets off the 911 call, she calls. But like I said, with this one, this is just a voicemail that picks up some of the 911 calls. So last year, when people were going over it, they were thinking, okay, well, this probably caught after she got off the 911 call. It caught some of it after. But like I said, when I match it up, I'll show you at this point, she is still on the 911 call. And she's actually saying something to the operator at this very moment. Okay, but anyway, I'll shut up again. I'm hoping that I'm explaining it so you guys understand, but let me play it again. Okay, I just realized that I want to do something here. So you guys see the way that this chair. Oh, I hate this noise on this chair, but it's so much more comfortable watching the trial. But see, oh my God, when I want it to make the noise, it doesn't, and when I don't, there. But it makes it in the most. Like I can't control it. Like when it comes. Like now I'm trying to make it just. There's gotta be somewhere. So here is. Let me just show you real quick. So here is the part. This is where it all came from. This is Turtle Boy, where he actually loops the part that he thinks it's saying it. So let me play it. So I'll show you the exact same thing of what people think. Okay. So here's the part where it says different people hear different things on that, but it's undeniable. And she whispers, coming out to help. Some hear no one's coming out to help, while others hear someone's coming out to help or effing coming out to help. She says the audio takes place at the exact same time Jennifer McCabe called her sister, Nicole, according to her call logs. McCabe called 911 at 6:03:47 and called her sister at 6:07:42. But this is obviously a year ago before we had the 911 call to match it up. So I heard him explain this where back then last year, he thought that, so he timed the call, the voicemail call, and he was thinking that when she started the call, that she was on it before she really was, because he said, oh, it takes time to transfer and blah blah blah, but that wasn't the case. Now that we have the call, you saw the information. Now that we have it, we can match it up, and I'll show you it, match it up. But anyway, no, and I hope you guys don't take this the wrong way, because Turtle Boy is doing an awesome job. I'm not saying that. This is just one little thing and it's not a big deal. I mean, it's still, all the other stuff is like huge, so I hope this isn't going to come across the wrong way. I'm sure he would want the facts, it's no big deal. This doesn't make them innocent. I still am fighting for Karen because I think she's innocent. But anyway, so here is where this came out. This is from 2023. So this is 2 years ago. This is the part he loops right here. So that's what he thinks. That's it. But he looped it, and I'll show you it's the exact same thing as this, right? Okay. So I'm going to cut that little spot out to get it to the exact thing. See, I have it right where I have it marked. Let's try to get it exactly the way Turtle Boy sounds when it loops. No, I might have to, let's see. I have to add or take away a frame. Let's see if this is the right amount of it. And then I just paste, loop a couple of those. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if that's the right amount. Yeah, I have too much. I have too many frames. Watch, but I can get it exactly. Gotta take that out. That's a windshield wiper blade right there. So take one frame out, and I'll copy and loop just this one with that one taken out. That's at the end of it. I just took too many at the end, so my marker's still perfect, as you can see right there where it starts. So when the rest of it, you'll see. Okay. Just so you could see though, so the accuracy of the reason I'm pointing that out is because then when I match it up, you could see at that moment what's going on, what Jen's saying for real in the 911 call. Okay, here we go. I think I got her. Just to sound perfect. I mean, like his. Let me make sure mine are all turned up. Yeah, that's why his is louder. Okay. So you can see, same thing, same spot is the main point. I got it marked on that same spot with that marker. So you just, that's the important thing. So then when I show you when it's matched up, what it's saying at that moment. Okay. Let me just play this again for you right here. This is the part where everybody hears. I'll turn it up real quick for you. Okay. Now, let me match this up with this and I'll show you. But let me turn this down to about like 6 because when I overlap the sounds, but just so you could see that it's still on. Okay, so let me match it up, the audio. So I'm going to match it up here, and then I am going to move that background color out of the way for this. Let me get rid of one of those tracks, kind of make it a little bit more tighter. And make this a little bit bigger right there. Okay, let's do it. So like I said, 911 calls right here, voicemails right here, and these are the subtitles. Now remember this, these are the subtitles that were for the 911 call. All I did was I brought the audio for the voicemail right underneath the 911 call and subtitles and stuff, right? And I just matched up the audio, which you'll see. So not only the audio matches up with this voicemail, but the 911 call or the subtitles are going to match up with this audio of the voicemail, which it's important because so that the exact time where people are thinking that they hear her call, that it's not, because I just basically want to show you that it's matched up perfectly so you can trust the information, right? Okay.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road in Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow.
Just so I can show you real quick. So you see this subtitle. I'm going to mute the 911 call and just play the voicemail so you see that it's matched. So muting the 911 call. Now we're just going to play. This is the voicemail right here.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road in Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow.
Okay, and obviously you're not gonna hear the operator because it's the voicemail. I'll mute the voicemail and then just play that so you'll see. Play it right where the subtitles.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Kid, 34 Kid Road, Kid, Mass, the man passed out in the snow.
Hold on, Ken.
Okay, so now I'm gonna unmute them both. I just wanted to show you that it's matched up. Oh, there we go.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Kid, 34 Kid Road, Kid, Mass, the man passed out in the snow.
Ken, hold on, you connected to the okay.
You can't realize it.
He has the sound, press that line.
I think he's like, he's going to get ready to see you. I don't know.
I don't like it. I don't see things.
911, what's your emergency?
I immediately text 34 Daily Road, Camden, Mass.
What's going on?
There's a guy unresponsive in the snow.
In the snow, 34?
Yes, 34, the Albert resident, yes. I just pulled up behind it.
Okay, 34, Matthew?
34 Fairview, Camden, Mass, yes.
911, that's on your building, where's your emergency? Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry, can you come to 34 Fairview Road in Houston?
34, Fairview?
Yes, there's a man unresponsive in the snow.
Okay, well,
He's gonna get here, okay?
okay, what's going on? Is he face down?
We just switched him over.
Okay. And who's that in the background? Is that someone related?
That's his girlfriend's name is John, please.
Okay, how old is he?
John is 46 years old.
46, how long has he been outside?
I don't know. I don't know. He's out of the car and he's a couple of hours.
Scary?
I don't know if he women. There are two women trying to heat and then circle.
Okay, can you just try to ask him? I know it's tough, but we already have the fire department going, they just gotta know.
Is he breathing, you guys? It doesn't seem to be breathing.
Okay, do they know how to do CPR? Do they want to attempt CPR?
Can you guys do CPR? No, I guess he's gone.
Okay, they don't feel comfortable doing so?
No, I think he's passed away.
Okay. All right, we have the fire department and the police department on the way. If everyone's declining CPR, then I'll hang up with you, and if anything changes, you can give us a call back. Where are you guys outside?
I'm right up front of the car. I know, honey, Kevin, you gotta get off of me. Kevin, you gotta get off of him.
You know if there's any alcohol or drugs involved? They've been out drinking.
Like I'm talking hours about maybe, and I don't know how long he's been in the snow.
Okay, is there any bleeding or anything? Maybe his head out?
Yes, possibly. I think he's bleeding in the face.
Okay, bleeding from the face. All right.
Yes.
And how big the pool of blood is, if there is any?
So I have to know that one of the women is doing CPR.
Okay, one of them is doing CPR?
Yes, they're both working on him.
All right, if you want CPR, and just let me, just give us a call back if you tell us your response, all right? But we're on the way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna mute the 911 call and just play the audio of the voicemail. So you could see that you could only you could probably hear a little bit of Jen saying that, like but you can it's picking up that a little bit far away. I mean, because she's walking around, she's not in the car. You could hear the windshield wipers, and that's about it. You could hear a little bit of faint her saying it. But trust me, I've been doing this for 6 years, going through audio and videos, and you could find crazy things that you think you're seeing and hearing in it, especially if it's like you have it in your head or somebody tells you, and you really hear it or see it. You really do. But a lot of the times it's not. I mean, sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. You know, it's just you could zone in on something in particular and hear things. You could hear a few different things and stuff, and it's if you zoom back out and look at the bigger picture, a lot of the times it's not what it appears. But no, sometimes it is. I'm not saying that. I found some interesting things, but this one isn't because we were able to match it up. But if I didn't have the 911 call and wasn't able to match it up, I might be thinking the same thing. Like, gosh, I do hear it in there and it makes sense, but I'm glad we have it to match up. So here's the voicemail. Remember, he loops it. It's looped. He stops it about right here. This quick, watch. If you do it about where he did it, just with the voicemail, show you, it sounds like this. So here we go. This is just the voicemail right here. I'll show you. It's the same one. Turtle Boy is right here. Okay, so I'll just show you. It's the same thing. Okay, I'm just using the actual whole video here and just marking it. I'll do it one more time. Okay, and now let's play just the 911 call at that point. See what it's saying. So you see at that point she's saying, but can you make a note? 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 She's telling him about one of the women doing CPR, because before that she talks about how they're not doing it, but then before they hang up she wants to make sure they know. Can you make a note about there is one woman doing CPR, right? Like I said, the voicemail, you could barely pick her up at that part because she's walking around the car and only comes in the earshot of the phone at some points. So this one is at a very far earshot. You could kind of hear her, but then you hear the windshield wipers are making a noise and stuff. And like I said, there's a car. Karen's phone is in the car, so there's some parts where you could hear it really good because I think she's standing right by the back where the trunk's open, and I think you could hear it really good at some points, her voice talking to 911, but this one is pretty far, hard to hear. But let me play them both now. So this is a voicemail and 911 call at that point. So you guys see, now I'll just play the voicemail again. I'll just do just the 911 call one more time. There you go. Just wanted to show you that. Okay, the end. That's all I have for this video. I'll see you guys Monday at the trial. Hopefully, we'll have some good witnesses. I don't know when Proctor's coming. We'll see. Have a good one. Oh, let me know your thoughts on this, guys. If you guys pick out anything that's interesting from this call, any thoughts, comments, comment below. Bye.